him, hey, John,
Right.
Dr. John.
Exactly.
Because it's something that he has earned. It's more for formality. I'm not into the titles either, but again, we have to go by martial tradition. Tradition is, yes, you properly address the instructor, so and so. Some of the students call me sensei. Some of my male students, some of the other students call me Shihan. I don't mind whatever they decide to do. It's fine. But it's basically for formality, really. That's all it is.
If I may interject, I
Yes.
think we live in a society where it has almost put martial artists in a position where they have to acquire titles because you have people knocking on your door and they want to become your student. Unless you have a title, they don't think you're qualified enough.
Right. In fact,
Again,
most of
so-
it is based, most of the titles are based on ignorance, ego,
Ego, definitely.
stupidity. I mean, there's a lot of stupidity out there. I mean, I'm talking to this lady, and she's telling me she's a grandmaster, and I'm saying in what art, and she's telling me Japanese, and in Japanese we don't have grandmasters in Japanese.
No.
We don't have them.
No.
It's either Shihan or sensei. Now you may have a grandmaster in Chinese, you may have a grandmaster in Korean because they have those titles. But those titles don't apply to us as practitioners of Japanese martial arts. So we don't really have grandmasters. However, again, I've interviewed people here who do Japanese martial arts, and they're telling me that they're grandmasters. And I'm just looking at, I just look at them and I wonder what's going on through their mind. Didn't they study the history? No, they didn't, because had they studied history, they wouldn't even dare come in here and use the name Grandmaster. Another thing, the people will come up and use this title of doctor in all these martial arts. Now, I know a guy, I'm just going to say his first name, his name is Juan. He's a doctor in martial arts. The dude can't write a prescription for me. He's not a doctor. He's working as a super somewhere. Okay?
Even if he could write, it's something that was probably acquired through the internet. It's probably something. It's these bogus titles, and
They are
we live
bogus.
in a society where
They are
they're so
bogus.
easy to acquire, and they're so prevalent.
Yeah.
You have doctor, you have professor, you have all these
Yes.
titles that are out there. People eat that up, though.
Yeah, they
It's
they
all
do.
marketing.
Exactly.
And that's unfortunately
Yeah.
what has happened to the martial arts. It's become so tainted, unfortunately.
I mean,
That is the nature of the beast.
we had a while back, and I'll keep mentioning him until he dies and becomes an old man. He was 17 years old. He was calling himself a grandmaster in Brooklyn. 17 years old. And he got it from another so-called grandmaster, a crackhead grandmaster. You know, everybody knows who he is. But he got the title of grandmaster, and the kid was 17 years old. I got underwears that older than this guy. He's a grandmaster. Give me a break. You know, but these titles are thrown around easily all the time. Now I stick to my title. I know I earned it. So here you get a guy he calls himself Hanshi. You know, the guy's calling himself Hanshi. The other guy's calling himself Renchi. You know, but they don't understand what it means. They don't have any idea what's happening with these titles. So you know, they're a mockery for the martial arts, and it puts a bad taste in your mouth. So when people come to your school, you know, they're expecting to find that. But if you humble yourself and you know, just stick to the basics, man. Look, you know, I'm sensei. The principal of the school is the Shihan. You know, so you can have 15 senseis there, but you have to have a Shihan. Somebody's got to be a Shihan, not 10 Shihans. Everybody's a Shihan now? No. You stick to the basics, and you're good. Most of the people don't even understand the title or the meaning of the dans.
You have to understand one thing about Shihan, since you mentioned that too. Shihan is not just a title per se; it's more of a position that you have earned, an honorary position that you have earned because of your contribution to a certain martial arts tradition. Not just because you put up some kind of Joe Blow, excuse my language, Joe Blow martial arts or system together. It's because you made a vital contribution to martial arts in general, whether it's in general or a specific ryuha or tradition.
Right.
That's why I mentioned my thesis, that I'm working on my thesis, is because I want to be able to look at myself and I say, I earned this. If I were to call doctor, I want to go and work in a hospital and heal people.
Exactly.
I want to earn that. But in this case, I would like to be seen as a true Shihan, which is it's more of an innovative person, a person who contributes to the historical content of martial art. Then I need to do this.
Right.
You know.
Right, like Dr. Kano, he's the founder of judo,
Yes.
and he actually was a real doctor. He wasn't a doctor on martial arts. He was a doctor. He actually did the prescriptions and had patients and stuff. He was an actual doctor. So now people associate his title with the martial arts. You may have somebody may get a PhD, a doctorate rather, on music, okay. On music or something to that nature, maybe in writing or in philosophies.
Yes.
You can get a doctorate. So they try to put that same title onto the martial artists. So now you got a lot of guys, and I just find it's a joke. I'm talking to this guy. He's running projects. He's calling himself doctor. 10th degree, as if though the degree means anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It means something, I guess, to him in his school. If he wants that 10th degree to mean something in his school, fine. It doesn't apply to me. Our degrees are our degrees. Simple. It does not apply. A 3rd degree in one school is not a 3rd degree in another school, or a 7th degree in one school is not a 7th degree in another school. And what they try to do is put it all together, but yet they don't understand the meaning or the symbolism behind any one of the belts. That's why I put together a DVD. I open up a can of worms with it, because everybody was coming at me. Oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, wait a minute, I didn't say this. This is what it says, And I brought it to them, and I put that attention to them. So hopefully you guys can pick up one of my DVDs and stuff like that. But it's very educational. I did my homework and I got my background. I got my proof. So it's not like something that Master Yusuf said. It's just something that's on the books. That's how it is, and take it from there. So the first guy who opened that can of worms was a gentleman by the name of Master Marcus Miranda, who I believe you know who he is.
Yes, I know.
He opened up he was the first one to do it. I just followed up behind him, but when he did it, everybody wanted to beat him up. He's a pastor, he's a good martial artist, a great gentleman, a good martial artist and everything. And so everybody went at him. They saw the article, they went at him. So what I did is I brought him here to the show, and we opened up a can of worms as well, for everybody to come over. And to this day, nobody has proven us wrong. And we put the challenge out there. Okay, look, if you know what you're talking about, come on the show. And I got emails, bad email, but they wouldn't come on the show and back up what they were saying on the titles. They don't understand them. A 10th degree to right now, if you go to certain organizations such as the JA, the Judo Association, they keep their degrees in order. In order for you to get a degree from that federation, you have to go to their federation and you have to apply. Any other federation, it's not going to be recognized. All right, which is cool. The Shotokan Karate Association, they did the same thing. It's called the Japan Karate Association.
No.
And what they did was they organized all their degrees and belts and everything, and they got it down pat. People try to fake them out. They try to imitate them. There's even a group right now carrying their name here in the United States, trying to mess up their reputation. But we know who they are, so we don't have to deal with them. In ninjutsu, you have no such organization. You have no such organization. You have guys trying to start an organization. In fact, I went into the website. I saw what you were trying to start, and I love it. It sounds great. I mean, people should really look into it if they get into your website and see. I see where you're trying to go with it, and I give you, preps for it. It's a good idea. You can go that way. There's a lot of people trying to do it, but everybody's trying to do something different. Instead of like working together, everybody's trying to do it separately, and that's where the chaos comes in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So